Greetings, and welcome to this demonstration video about utilizing Amazon EC2 sources in the Cohesity DataProtect Delivered as a Service solution. So as you can see on my dashboard here, I'm currently looking at Helios, and I'm going to move over and check out the sources that I have registered. You can see I have an existing Microsoft 365 source, but from the Register Source option, I have an AWS EC2 location. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to enter my AWS account ID. You can get that from your AWS dashboard. And since I set this up originally in US West 1, that'll be the location where my destination is going to be. As I click on Next, I'm going to start an account validation to ensure that I have the rights to be able to have this system talk to my AWS EC2 instances. Now, you'll notice that there is an IAM role I need to create. So I'm going to download this CloudFormation template. It downloaded relatively quick, so I'm going to switch over to the CloudFormation template location, and I'm going to create a new stack utilizing that template I just downloaded. Now, this is going to set up all the IAM permissions necessary for the user to be able to talk with the EC2 instances that exist within our account. I need to provide an account stack name, so you can see I'm putting in dmaz-ec2, clicking on Next. Now, throughout the rest of the creation process, there's very little I need to ensure and edit. So I'm going to acknowledge that this might create some custom names and click the Create Stack button. Now, while this is creating, what's going to happen is, as I switch back over to the screen, I'm going to wait for this account authentication to finish. This can take roughly about a minute. So what we're going to do is fast forward to the point where we have this created. As you can see now, there it says that my account has been authenticated, so I'm going to click the Register button to finish the registration process. This will officially put AWS EC2 as an official source within DataProtect Delivered as a Service. So now you can see my account is there. It's still learning the information of what's available, but I can click on it and see some of the initial information. For instance, my 4 virtual machines, all called support 0, 1 through 4, were EC2 instances that are available for us to utilize. As I switch over to the EC2 console, you can see that there they are. There's my 4 devices. So now as I walk through here, I have some options to be able to select these devices for backup and recovery. I can choose by tags. So for instance, there's a tag called spun up by myself, which my name is John, which are available through EC2. I can select all the child objects based off of this. So what this does is in the future, any tag that has that is going to be gathered in the policy as well. So now I'm going to select my policy, in this case, my gold policy, and click on the Protect button. Now, this is going to start the process of the initial first backup. As you can see, it switched all the objects from unprotected to now protected. If I go click on Activity, this is where I can see what is happening within the system, what the actual product is performing. So I'm hitting refresh here a couple of times because it does take, there is a slight delay in us to be able to get this information to show up. So what I will do is I will fast forward here and get to where the devices are showing up as activities that are happening within the system. There we go. Then refreshed, and we can see now that we have currently backed up 1 device, and the other 3 are in the midst of backup as well. We're going to let the rest of these finish. As you can see, they're relatively small EC2 instances. But we're also going to double check and see that we've already performed the snapshots within EC2, which is essential for us to start the process. So we have created the 4 initial snapshots for the VMs. Now, as we wait for this to finish, right now what's happening is we are currently backing up that data coming from those EC2 snapshots and streaming it over to DataProtect Delivered as a Service. Momentarily, the rest of these virtual machines will finish out. And in fact, what we may do is just fast forward for the rest of these to get completed. Well, And there we have it. We have all of the devices are complete. So we have essentially backed up all 4 devices in the system. But now what I'm going to do is I'm going to terminate these instances. That means delete the instances from the system. What I want to be able to do is perform a restore. As we all know, a backup is only as good as its restoration capabilities. So I'm going to restore these 4 VMs. So now that all 4 of them have been deleted, as you can see now, we no longer have any instances running. What we're going to do is head back to the Cohesity DataProtect Delivered as a Service UI, and we're going to perform a restoration. Now, to do so, I have to navigate back through to my protected objects. You see all 4 of them there. I'm going to select my objects, and above I have a multitude of different options, but in this case I'm going to select the option for recover. Now there's a few options we can enable. I'm going to take the prefix. Instead of a copy dash, I'm going to take away the prefix. The powered on state is going to be on, so I want them to turn on. Continue on error, I'm going to keep as no, and I have a name of a task recovery. Now I've started the recovery, so you can see that we have initiated from the Cohesity DataProtect Delivered as a Service console the ability to restore these particular virtual machines. Now, I'm doing a quick refresh and a quick segue over to the rest of the EC2 console to show that now I do have all 4 devices restored. I can go back to the volumes and show that I have 4 proper 8 gig volumes from these particular virtual machines that were created very shortly beforehand. And this completes the demonstration